Welcome to another installment of Graphic Man. Today we're going to be looking at another cover recreation of Strange Adventures number 21. Now this is pre-code, so you won't see the comics code on there anywhere. I went ahead and made a couple of copies of the DC logo. This one has two of them, but this is issue number 21. And as you can see, it's another really difficult, a lot of detailed drawing. And have really been challenged lately to do those. I imagine they took a paste up of the title and put the paste up in there and then drew the fishing pole over the couple of letters that it would take to cover the title. Now, I didn't have a paste up of Strange Adventures, the title, so I rough sketched out my own, and boy, was it very difficult to draw that fishing pole right over those. I like choosing books where I can have more appreciation for all the difficulties the artist had to go through. So here's my rendition of it, and I'll be showing you the original cover. Kind of a pink-looking creature coming out of the depths of the water, and I kind of like the leaving a black and white version of it. I can kind of imagine any number of colors like purple or green or even blue. I don't know if I would have chosen pink, but it does get your attention when you're looking to get the attention of the comic buyers back then. So it's pre-code. I suppose it's one of those scary 1950s or early 50s books that was just bound to captivate people that were walking by. And this book basically says, "Please buy me." So that's my recreation of Strange Adventures 21. Once again, I hope this inspires somebody to take pen in hand and give it a shot. And so now we will look through some comics. From the Golden Age, this is Startling Comics. And that fellow on the cover is Pyro-man. Today, modern readers might take a look at him and think, well, he's a cross between Captain America and the Human Torch. But this is Pyro-man. It had interior artwork, other characters, the Super Patriot, and the Good Captain, and the Fighting Yank. Now, I hope you can look in on that detail of the trains and all the things that he is blowing up. And you can count all the Japanese lettering, World War II planes that were trying to attack him. This book comes with one staple in the middle. I believe they were trying to cut down on metal during the war. They were trying to ration some of that. So even the comic book companies got in the act using just one staple. Here's the back cover. An early rendition of the Charles Atlas ad. Later it would be the more traditional kicking sand in your face, inspire someone to go to the course of Muscle Beach. Now here's Gunfighters. Gunfighters number 72. It is a Carlton book, and sadly, this April 1982. All the good books that were available in April 82, and if you had to kind of settle for this, well, this might have been the last book on the rack. But I want you to take notice that this cover, although there's nothing special about it, has a wild trick shot that this little pistol is going to knock this branch loose so the bad guy comes tumbling out. That has to be the most ridiculous or cheesiest cover, or we should just tip our hats to this guy. He is the best shot in the world. Tremendous. Inside, this book will have a story about Annie Oakley, Wild Bill Hickok, Wyatt Earp, and Kid Montana. So it has some pretty good stories in it, in spite of the kind of odd cover. Here's Andy Panda. This is for color number 240. And Andy apparently is having some boat trouble. And it's not just this issue where he has boat trouble. By the way, if you want to pick one of these up, the entire book is the story. There's no advertisements, even the back cover. It's all story. I'd like to see comic companies try that these days. I tell you, Andy has more boat trouble than anybody. Here he is again. Something's not going right there. And in this issue, they build a kayak. So, but it's great art. Maybe I should draw Andy Panda next time. For one of the wild covers we're going to get, it's not really a comic book. This is a organic gardening magazine. And I don't know if you can still get your hands on this thing, but it's a recreation, or excuse me, it's a recreation. I keep saying recreation. My mind's on relaxing and going camping, I guess. But it's Fantastic Four #1. They're paying homage to. Instead of one of the mole man monsters coming up, they're having mole trouble in their garden. It's organic gardening, even the lettering, that old Fantastic Four title. And instead of 10 cents, it was 295 cents. The world's greatest gardening magazine. They even put a Comics Code logo in there. Outstanding. Outstanding. So that's one of the oddballs. It's really a gardening magazine. Don't get it hoping to find, pictures of your Marvel characters. All right, MGM's Lassie. Lassie number 26. This is for all the dog lovers out there. Great painted covers from Dell. Must be on vacation with the palm trees. I don't think that's up in Canada. Dinky Duck. Has anybody ever heard of Dinky Duck? #1. Proving that here at the Graphic Man Vault, we're not afraid to collect anything. Paul Terry's Dinky Duck. This is probably one of the best corn on the cob covers you're ever going to see. Another Dinky Duck. By the way, that was #1. This is #8. The Two Mouseketeers. The Two Mouseketeers. Now, don't get too comfortable with that title, because Mouseketeers might have been copyrighted, or there might have been other companies that had that name, because it didn't take very long for them to change that up to the Mouse Musketeers. So there was a name change. I don't know which I like better. Both of them are pretty good names. And they made a lot of these. There's probably a good 15 to 20. All right, here's Scamp, 4-color number 833. This is from 1957. Scamp and his 3 sisters make the cover this time. Donald Duck and the Gilded Man. This is 4-color number 422. Carl Barks, absolutely fantastic story. Yes, he really does run into this giant in South America. And this giant paints himself with gold, but what Donald needs is inside this old mailbag. Fantastic story. Highly recommend that. Donald Duck number 27, The Flying Horse. Now, while Gold Key was making Mickey Mouse, they made a few books with the title Top Comics. And this is in fantastic shape. Top Comics. You'd find the Flintstones and various other characters. For example, here's a Top Comics with Flipper. When he wasn't hanging out with the Miami Dolphins, Flipper had his own TV show. Walter Lance's Space Mouse. With some strange two-headed duck creatures there. All right, let's make Literature Lad happy. We'll do a Classics Illustrated. This was number 138, Journey to the Center of the Earth. This is probably one of the coolest, awesomest covers that Classics Illustrated ever had. Fantastic painted cover. I see why Literature Lad likes those. Pretty good. Let's end on some Hulks. Here's Hulk 102, just for the fun of it. The Incredible Hulk had 6 issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then they canceled it. And then the Hulk ended up with the Avengers for a little while. Then he went over to Ant-Man's book, Tales to Astonish. And then he took that book over. And so they started up again. By the time they had issue number 102, it was just the Hulk. Here's 103. So when you were a young lad like myself looking for all those empty gaps between Hulk 6 and Hulk 102, there weren't any. There you go. Here's 104 with the Rhino. Great cover here, 105, coming up out of the earth. Skip to 111 here. $112. Great cover here, 113. The Sandman and his new costume. $114. He's still fighting Sandman. And the Mandarin. If this were a movie, they'd have to do this scene again. You know, Mandarin got in front of the camera there. Put his back to the camera. And the leader shows up in 115. They never draw the leader with a hat on. I don't know what kind of hat. A bowler or a cowboy. Maybe a sombrero would probably be in order there. 116. I don't know if the artist knew what to do for the background here, so let's just draw some lines on there. Oh, it sounds like I'm being rough. He's way better artist than I am. Here's 117. Great cover. Great perspective there of the giant. The Submariner shows up, 118. I don't know if they had fought since around Avengers number 3 and 4 area. Maybe they had. I think it's before Defenders. Hulk number 119. Maximus the Mad. 120, and we'll have another one right after this. A big fight army issue. Yeah, they did this a lot, where the guy would turn around and tell you what's going on, or bark out some orders or something. It's supposed to be very dramatic. I absolutely love this cover, 121. That's the glob. Drawn by the great Herb Trimp. Well, there you have it. I'll show you the Strange Adventures 21 one more time. And I hope that this inspires you to give it a shot. This the original art to this cover is available. I've seen it for sale online, and I believe they used a paste up, because there are images online with the title is missing, and but they must have had to draw that fishing pole right over it. So I didn't ink the words too darkly. I just kind of did a lot of pencil on those. But I was mainly interested in the arms and the hands and the scales of this creature. And of course, the original is far better than mine, but I really like just leaving it uncolored. So, anyway, that'll do it for this installment of the Graphic Man Adventures. I hope you have a great day and happy drawing.